Today, we pause to reflect on a moment that has shaken the world and pierced the hearts of millions. The death of Pope Francis, a shepherd who walked with humility, who carried the burdens of the church with gentleness and truth, criticized by many, misunderstood by many, is now laid to rest. The man who reminded us again and again to go to the margins has returned to the dust from which he came. My name is Dr. Raúl Enad from Cadenza Medical Clinic. As a Catholic physician, we pay tribute to our Pope. His passing is not just a headline. It is a loud whisper from eternity, a sobering invitation to reflect on the vulnerability of man, very close to medicine, the fleeting nature of our days, the deep, divine love that sustains us in our fragility. We often live as though we are invincible, consumed with anxiety over things that in the end will pass away. We chase our health goals, and yet there's always this malady that will consume us. But Pope Francis' death, like that all who walk before us, reminds us we are dust, and to dust we shall return. Scripture says in Psalm 103, "As for man, his days are like grass. He flourishes like a flower of the field, for the wind passes over it and is gone." What a powerful truth, a humbling one. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is the doorway to grace. Pope Francis opens speak of the need to embrace our limitations to live, our limitations to be healthy, our wounds, and our dependence on God. He saw weakness not as something to fear. He saw not illness as something to fear, but rather to be embraced. But as a space for Christ to dwell, something that we can unite with Christ. In his later years, as age and illness pressed in on him, his public appearances before the visible weight of his suffering, and yet his heart remained rooted in Christ. At the height of the pandemic, if you recall, limping in front of the St. Peter's Basilica, he united the church, praying, asking God for mercy. And this brings us to the next part of our reflection, the fragility of health. Our bodies, incredible as they are not permanent. They break down, and though science and medicines, for as much as it has advanced, they cannot prevent the inevitable end that awaits all of us, regardless. But here lies the grace. While we cannot preserve our lives forever, we can honor the gift of life by the way we live. Starting with the breath of life, when we do our meditation and guided breathing, we can honor, because the truth is, we do not know the hour of the day. Not anyone, only God. But we do know the one who holds time in his hands. And if we live each day in the light of eternity, with love and charity, with discipline, with joy and trust, then death is not a defeat. It is a return, a homecoming to the Father. So today, as we remember Pope Francis, let us carry forward his legacy, not just in words, but in our way of life. Resurrection was just yesterday. We ought to resurrect with Jesus. Let our vulnerability drive us to God, closer to God. Let our fragile health inspire us to live wisely. And let our hearts be daily renewed by the passion of the one who gave everything for love of us, even before you were born. May we echo in our lives the final witness of Pope Francis, a man whose strength was found not in power, but in surrender, in his vulnerability, in his weakness. Thank you very much.